Procris, consumed by jealousy toward Cephalus, decided to venture into the forest where she suspected he might be unfaithful to her. Concealed in the bushes, she made a rustling noise, which Cephalus, mistaking for a wild animal, hurled the javelin she had given him, inadvertently killing her. At this point, Cephalus paused in his narration. "But," said Phocus, "what was wrong with that javelin?" prompting Cephalus to explain its tragic history. "Let me begin with the happier times," Cephalus began, addressing Phocus, son of Acus. "In the early years of our marriage, both my wife and I were truly happy. We shared a deep love and affection, unmatched by any other. Neither of us would have traded our bond for anything, not even for the bed of Zeus or the allure of Aphrodite. We were equally devoted to each other. I used to go hunting in the woods with youthful enthusiasm, armed only with my javelin. But after the thrill of the hunt wore off, I sought solace in the cool shade and gentle breeze of the valleys. I often sang praises to the breeze, unaware that someone was listening and mistaking my words for affection for a nymph. Little did I know that this misunderstanding would lead to tragedy." The reckless spreader of a baseless rumor quickly went to Procris and whispered what he had heard. Love can make one gullible. When she heard the accusation, she fell into a faint, overwhelmed with sudden grief. Upon regaining consciousness, she lamented her wretched fate and doubted my faithfulness. Stirred by an unfounded accusation, she feared a non-existent threat and mourned as if it were real. Despite her doubts, she hoped to be wrong and refused to believe the rumor unless she saw it with her own eyes. The next morning, I ventured into the woods, victorious from the hunt. I called out to the breeze to ease my pain, but amidst my words, I heard mysterious groans. Mistaking the rustling leaves for a wild animal, I hurled my javelin, only to realize too late that it was Procris. As she cried out in agony, I rushed to her side. I found her dying, clutching the javelin I had inadvertently struck her with. Holding her in my arms, I tried to stop the bleeding and begged her not to leave me in my guilt. With her last strength, she pleaded with me not to let the breeze, mistakenly called Aura, replace her in our marriage vows. As she spoke, I realized the error in the name, but it was too late. She breathed her last, her gaze fixed on me, seemingly free from worry. With tears streaming down my face, I recounted these events to them, and just then, Acus entered with his sons and soldiers, whom I welcomed, armed with valor. 1 Minos and Scylla. Minos initiated the war by besieging Megara. The city's defense relied on a lock of hair belonging to its king, Nisus. His daughter, Scylla, falls in love with Minos and betrays her father by cutting off the lock and giving it to him. Minos conquers the city, but repulsed by Scylla's betrayal, he departs. In despair, Scylla throws herself into the sea, following Minos' fleet. Nisus, transformed into a sea eagle, seeks revenge and attacks her, leading to her transformation into a bird called Cirrus. As dawn breaks and the east wind subsides, moist vapors rise. The favorable south winds aid the sons of Acus and Cephalus in returning to port sooner than expected. Meanwhile, Minos ravages the Lelegaean coasts and tests his strength against the city of Alcathoe, ruled by Nisus. Nisus' kingdom is safeguarded by a purple-colored lock of hair on his head. The war drags on, with victory hanging in the balance. A regal tower with echoing walls, said to hold the golden harp of Latona's son, stands as a vantage point. Nisus' daughter often visits this tower during times of peace, enjoying the sound of the harp and observing the warfare below. Through the ongoing hostilities, she becomes familiar with the names of the chiefs, their weapons, horses, attire, and the Sidonian quivers. Before anything else, she had studied the face of the leader, the son of Europa, even more than was necessary just for recognition. In her eyes, Minos appeared handsome, whether he wore a helmet adorned with feathers or held a shield shining with gold. When he threw the javelin or drew back the wide bow with an arrow, she admired his skill and strength. She swore he resembled Phoebus when he prepared his arrows. But when he revealed his face, removing the brazen helmet, and rode a white horse with embroidered trappings, she struggled to maintain composure. She praised the javelin he touched and the reins he held. She felt an urge, if possible, to walk through the enemy ranks or to open the gates to the enemy if Minos desired it. As she gazed at the white tents of the Dictaean king, she pondered whether to rejoice or grieve over the war. She mourned that Minos was the enemy of one who loved him, yet without the war, would she have known him? She hoped he might cease hostilities by taking her as a hostage, thus securing peace. If Minos' mother was as beautiful as he was, it was no wonder Zeus was enamored with her. She wished she could fly to Minos' camp and offer herself to him, as long as he didn't demand her father's city in return. She preferred to forfeit the desired alliance than to achieve it through treason, though the mercy of a kind conqueror often benefited those who were defeated. Minos waged a just war for his slain son and was strong in both his cause and his weaponry. We will be conquered, I suppose. If that's the fate of this city, why should it be his arms and not my love that open the walls to him? It would be better for him to conquer without slaughter, without delay, without shedding his own blood. I fear, Minos, that someone might unknowingly wound you. Who would dare, unless by accident, to aim a cruel lance at you? I like the idea. I've made up my mind to offer my country as a dowry along with myself, to end the war. But being willing is not enough. There are guards, and my father holds the keys to the gates. He's the one I fear. He's the one blocking my desires. If only the gods would make me fatherless. Everyone is a god to themselves. Fortune doesn't favor idle prayers. Another woman, inflamed with such passion, would have long ago delighted in destroying anything in the way of her love. Why should I be less bold? I could dare to walk through flames amidst swords. But in this case, I just need my father's lock. That purple lock is more precious to me than gold. It will make me happy and grant my wish. As she speaks, night falls, the greatest nurturer of worries, and with darkness, her boldness grows. The first waves of sleep now come, claiming the heart's weary from the day's cares. Silently, she enters her father's chamber, and oh, abominable deed, the daughter robs her father of his fateful lock. With the prize of her crime in hand, she carries the spoils of her impiety through the gate, confident in her actions to the king, whom she addresses in astonishment. It was love that drove me to this deed. I am Scylla, the royal offspring of Nisus. I deliver to you the fate of my country and my own as well. I ask for no reward but yourself. Take this purple lock as a token of my love. Consider it not as a lock of hair, but as the life of my father. And with her right hand, she presents the infamous gift. Minos rejects it, appalled by the thought of such an unheard of crime. He says, "May the gods banish you from their universe, O disgrace of our age. May both earth and sea be denied to you. At the very least, I won't allow such a monstrous creature into Crete, the birthplace of Zeus, which is my domain." Thus he spoke, imposing conditions on the defeated like a just lawgiver, and ordered the fleet's moorings to be released, the bronze-beaked ships to be propelled by oars. Seeing the ships sail away on the sea, and realizing that the prince wouldn't grant her the expected reward for her wickedness, Scylla, after exhausting all her pleas, flew into a violent rage. With her hair disheveled, she raised her hands in frenzy and exclaimed, "Where are you flying, leaving behind the source of your success, O man preferred over my country, preferred over my father? Where are you flying, barbaric man? Your victory is both my crime and my merit. Has neither the gift I presented to you nor my passion moved you, nor the fact that all my hopes were centered on you alone? For where shall I return, abandoned by you? To my country? Conquered, it is ruined. But even if it were still safe, by my treachery it is closed to me, to my father's face, whom I have put in your power. My fellow citizens rightly hate me. The neighbors fear my example. I have closed off the whole world to me, leaving Crete alone open to me. And do you forbid me that as well? Is this how you desert me, ungrateful one? Europa was not your mother, but the inhospitable Syrtis, or Armenian Tigresses, or Charybdis disturbed by the south wind. Nor were you the son of Zeus, nor was your mother beguiled by the assumed form of a bull. That story of your birth is false. The bull that begot you was fierce, not enamored with the love of any heifer. Nisus, my father, take vengeance upon me. Rejoice, city so recently betrayed, at my misfortunes, for I confess I deserve them and I am worthy to perish. Yet let one of those whom I have impiously ruined destroy me. Why do you, who have conquered by means of my crime, punish that crime? What was treason to my country, and my father was an act of kindness to you. She truly deserves you for a husband, who, adulterously disguised as wood, deceived the fierce-looking bull, and bore in her womb an offspring dissimilar in shape to herself. Do my complaints reach your ears? Or do the same winds that carry away my fruitless words carry your ships, ungrateful man? Now, it's not surprising that Pasiphae preferred the bull to you. You had the more savage nature of the two. Wretch that I am! He delights in speeding onward, and the waves resound, cleaved by his oars. Alas, my native land recedes from him along with myself. Despite you, I will follow you, and grasping your crooked stern, I will be dragged through the long seas. She scarcely finishes speaking when she leaps into the waves and follows the ships, Eros giving her strength, and she clings, an unwelcome companion, to the Gnossian ship. When her father sees her, for now he is hovering in the air, Mas having recently been transformed into a sea eagle with tawny wings, he is about to tear her apart with his crooked beak. Out of fear, she leaves the stern, but the gentle breeze seems to support her as she falls, preventing her from touching the sea. It's feathers that support her. Transformed into a bird with feathers, she is called Cirrus, and she earns this name from cutting off the lock.